Me, but it seems like new pussy gets so wet. Got some issues with trust that might leave me alone forever. Forever, forever, forever. Life is crazy, hoes I'm chasing, all adjacent, none different. Double standard living, hope you're not, you know I am. I must confess, it's been a minute since I've been on that bullshit. I'm so tired of doing this, it hurts me cause I put you in it, and I'm steady pursuing it. Man, it's just so hard to quit. Fucking bitches spending money, man, it's just so hard to quit. Yeah, I know I got a girl, but these hoes be super thick. Spending when I should be saving, man, it's just so hard to kick some bad bitches. Bad bitches, yeah. Bad bitches, bad bitches.
The critically acclaimed, the special Vega Heartbreak, man. What's going on, bro?
Seat up.
What's good, man?
I appreciate you having me, man. It's a blessing to be here. It's a blessing to actually see your setup, man.
Thank you, man.
I gotta keep it clean, right?
Yeah.
I gotta keep it clean.
No. You good. You good.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Speak freely, man.
Okay, for sure. It's a blessing to see your setup, man. Definitely to see where you come from. Definitely to see where you started, and definitely see where you're going. You know.
Appreciate that.
Like the light is bright at the end of the tunnel for you, man. I could say that because I could say you do a lot of things. You myself.
Yeah, man. We got that in common, that's for sure.
Yeah.
Got that in common, that's for sure.
You gotta do a lot of stuff.
Right.
For sure.
No, I appreciate that, man. I appreciate it. So you in town, man. You staying in California right now, right?
I live in California.
Live in California.
Yeah.
So that's home.
Yeah.
Yeah?
Well, St. Louis is home. But
Sure.
California is where I reside.
That's where you reside.
Yeah.
Okay.
For
okay.
Sure.
So what's the ultimate goal, man? What took you to California in the first place?
Music.
Okay.
My opportunity, my love for music.
Right.
Being around, being in the scene, you know?
Sure.
Yeah. So if you're a basketball player, you're gonna go to the gym and play basketball with all the best basketball players.
Right.
So that's what I chose to do. I wanted to go do music where the best people do music, where everybody wants to do the music. You know.
Okay.
I think I'm great enough.
Definitely.
I know.
Definitely.
I don't even think no more. I know.
Right.
So yeah.
That's the kind of confidence you gotta have.
No, for sure.
But you could back that up though.
1000%.
Absolutely.
Get me in the room.
Right.
Anybody.
Right.
I don't care who you are. I don't care how many records you sold. Get me in the room.
That's what I'm talking about.
That's it.
You know what? More people need to have that kind of confidence, that motivation.
Yeah.
And so oftentimes it get mistaken as arrogance.
Yeah.
But that ain't what it is. And even if it is, that's on you. That's a personal issue.
Right.
You know what I mean?
But you know why though people take that as arrogance?
Why you think that?
Because they never met that person. They don't know how great of a person that person probably is.
Right.
To their family, to their friends, to the people who matter to them. You know.
Yeah.
So
definitely.
So that's why people look at that like that.
You know, I often say too, though, especially when people who criticize me, and I've heard a million times, you got a million things going on. You're always doing something new. You know what I mean? And it comes off as hate. And maybe they don't mean it that way, but oftentimes I always think, you know, you never met anybody like me, have you? You never met anybody like me.
Yeah.
That kind of, I don't need to, sure, pep talks, and sometimes, it comes in handy from time to time. You can take messages from people who inspire you, but for the most part, it's innate. It's internal. You know what I mean? It's just something that's in me, that drive.
Yeah.
And a lot of times people just want a passenger seat ride. They don't understand that drive, man.
Yeah. That's crazy though, right?
Yeah.
A lot of people don't have drive, man.
I couldn't even imagine. I don't know nothing else. That's what's so crazy. So I think they the weirdos. But
that's real.
But I think they the weirdos.
Because I don't know nothing else but to try to make it happen on how can I say this? On my terms.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I don't want to work a job to where I'm supporting somebody else's dream. Yeah. To where I'm putting the brick by brick for that nigga's dream. You know what I'm saying? Like that's not who I am. That's not what I want to be. That's not what I want to teach. You know what I'm saying? Like I want to show, like, you know, if you had a dream, if you have a passion, if you have an idea, go get it, go build it.
Definitely.
Go. You know what I'm saying? You know, I don't want to live with regrets, man.
Yeah. You know, oftentimes, and tell me what you think about this. I always say that sometimes I used to think that people were afraid of failure. But what I realize is that they're not afraid of failure. They've been failing their whole life. You can't be afraid of something you're doing.
Exactly.
You know what I mean?
Exactly.
So they really afraid of success and the work that it takes to get there.
That's what it is. It's the work, man.
You know what I mean?
It's the work.
Because the thought of them not being able to succeed yes, that is a little bit of trepidation for them. But internally, they dealing with their own struggles, that own inhibition, that barrier inside that stops them from doing it. Because you can't just say failure, because you already failed.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? You already became complacent at where you are. You decided that, hey, look, I'm just gonna work this job.
That's crazy, right?
I'm gonna get that check in 2 weeks, baby.
Yeah, but that's
until they get tired of seeing your face.
Exactly.
Until you ain't getting that check at the end of 2 weeks.
Exactly. Cut your string anytime they want to.
Exactly. So why not take your destiny in your own hands? So that's why I love, for people like you, because you're an inspiration to so many people who. I talked to somebody recently who in music, and they reminded me and said, "Oh, people ask me, was I still in music?" You ain't got to ask if Vega's still in music. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason they asking you that.
Yeah.
You're not doing nothing. You're not moving.
Yeah.
So
no, that's real. That's crazy, because I had this conversation last night with somebody very close to me, and he has an opportunity to be on one of these shows, like these Rising Star shows or whatever, that's in California. And I was telling him, he was like, "Man, I don't know, man, because I got my actual regular life. Or I have a job, I have a family, I have everything to support." And I was like, "How long are they gonna have you out there?" Hold on. First off, before I even asked him anything, he told me about it. I said, "Go." He said, "Okay, cool. Let me explain to you what my other thing is." And I said, "What's the other thing?" So he said, my job, everything, and they're gonna have me out there for a month. I said, "Okay." I said, "You can find another job when you get back. You got a car, right? You can do Uber, anything. You can do whatever you want to do. Just take this opportunity, because this opportunity is not given to a lot of people. So if they want you on the show, do it." And then he told me, he said, also, I've always wanted to produce as well. I said, "You know what?" I said, "I understand you got life going on and all this." I said, "If you don't go to the show, I want you to learn how to make beats." Because I said, "I'm going to challenge you. I'm going to give you either coming to LA for a month or learning how to produce. You got to do something that you want to do at the end of the day, because I understand you got a family and all that, but your true happiness comes within. Like you can't nobody else, can't nothing, no family, no kid, no money, nothing make you happy except with the decisions you make for yourself." And that's what I told him, and he was like, "That's real." I was like, "Yeah, man, like at the end of the day, if you go out there, be on the show, have a beautiful time, I guarantee you when you get back, your perspective is going to change."
Absolutely.
Which is going to make everything around you change, or the way you handle things, the way you handle things around you are going to change. The way you be with your kids are going to change, because now you just went to a whole different place around a completely different type of people, carrying yourself a completely different type of way. Now you can bring this back and inspire your children, your wife, your friends, and all that, like to be even better for themselves. And then everybody can be happy. So I was just like, man, just take this opportunity and just, why not?
What was his response?
He was like, I know. And he was looking at me like, "Yo, that's real." And he was like, "I know. But is he going to do it? I don't know." Like you just said, that's the drive.
It is. It is, and some people have it and some don't. I often liken it to like management skills, right? Some people have it, some people don't. But you can teach it, right? It's a teachable skill to a degree. To a degree, you can instill and impart in them the knowledge that they need to hopefully spark something that's, I think, is innate in all of us, because we all share that commonality, is that we want better for ourselves. We want better for our families. So that is already there. It's put in us. I think it's divine.
Yeah.
But the question is that enough? Right? Does that spark? Does that get the engine started?
Exactly, because that's like saying, like you just said, they want better, but they can just be always thinking like, "Oh, I have to get a better job."
This is true, and I think part of that is cultural, though. That's a conditioning, though, right? Because we go to school and we're taught to be employees. Yeah, you know what I'm saying. Yeah. Go to school, get a good job, so you can get a good job. What?
So you can get a good job.
So you can get a good job. Yeah. So that's a cultural thing. That's how I see that.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So for people like us who step outside of that box, what is it? What is it? What drives us?
I don't know.
Because you can have somebody who come from the environment that we come from, right? We can speak on St. Louis all day.
Right.
who come from that environment, and they still ain't got it.
Yeah.
Right? Because we know these people.
Yeah.
And then you can have somebody who come from the best schools in the most structured family, and they got drive for days. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So why is it?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So a part of it is what you're around, what you're exposed to. You know what I mean? Like having a frame of reference.
Yeah.
It's kind of like, how can you be a great husband naturally if you've never seen it?
Right. Right.
I mean, my stepfather was a crackhead.
My stepfather was a drug dealer.
Okay.
On some bullshit, but on some bullshit.
But also right.
Yeah.
So you like, I'd rather pick up that habit than his habit, but you know what I mean, though.
He was horrible to us.
Okay. Definitely.
He was like he didn't want to. You feel what I'm saying? Coincide with us at all.
Wow.
It was fucked up, and he made it known, like, y'all ain't my kids.
Really?
I don't care about y'all.
Wow.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah, but see, having that experience though, when it's your turn,
of course,
if you decide that,
of course,
you know what I'm saying. That is the lesson that you learn. That reference to stay away from, like not to have that type of mentality.
Yeah,
you know what I mean. So for me, it's kind of like that's why. When I was younger, I smoked weed, a lot of it, but you know what I mean. I stayed away from anything harder. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying. Mm-hmm. Matter of fact, I was just talking to a friend of mine the other day who was telling me we were having a conversation. He literally asked me, had I ever tried heroin? I've not called him since. I'm just saying, bro, no, I've never tried heroin. I have no intentions of trying heroin.
Why would I want to try heroin? That don't make sense.
So, again, he was just trying to tell me, the experience that he had and what it did for him. Mm-hmm. And he said, now, no, he's free from it now. From time to time, he missed that experience. Uh-huh. So, sometimes, you learn. You got people that and you've dealt with in the past. And you I always say that, yeah, I knew you. I don't know you. Right? Yeah, I knew you. So this was the person I knew. Mm-hmm. And so now I'm finding out new information. It's like, damn, I'm glad I don't know you.
My real dad was addicted to drugs. My dad just passed actually from a drug overdose.
Wow.
So, like you said, as I seen that, it always... Well, my dad was never really in my life. He was in jail my whole life. Mm. So as I seen that and, the things I heard about growing up, I was like, oh, hell no. Mm. Oh, hell no, I'm not going down that path.
Right.
Hell no. Because my mom was like, I had a conversation with my mom when my dad passed, and she was like, you the complete opposite of him. Mm. And I was like, yeah, that's, of course that's thanks to you, but that's also my own willpower as well. To say, like, I'm not going to do that. I'm not going to be like him. Mm-hmm. I'm not going to go down that path. And who's to say what he was dealing with? But I'm just saying, like, the decisions he made, those are examples for me. Like anybody who makes a bad decision in front of you, and you see that, you should take that as an example to be like, okay, that happened to him. I'm not going to do that. But that's the power of influence, though. People are very influenced. And like you said, like, I think all that has to coincide with who you are as a person, with people, like you said, not having drive. Like, some people don't have drive and are influenced. Mm-hmm. Now, it's two types of people in the world. Either you're influenced or you're an influencer. I don't care what stage of life you're at. You can influence somebody through anything. So.
Now, let me ask you something. You brought up the fact, your father not being there, mm-hmm. and being addicted to drugs. Mm-hmm. My real father was addicted to alcohol, mm-hmm. and he wasn't around. Mm-hmm. Often wonder that because, speaking of that, so Vega is ultimately going to be in the documentary that I'm shooting called Trauma Revealed. Absolutely. Shout out. So the documentary is for the most part, it's not entirely based on the book, but it touches on it because I think trauma for a lot of us, has affected us all. Mm-hmm. And so you brought up an interesting point. Because a lot of us have that experience for black males, man. We have that experience of being raised in 70% of households are single mothers.
Right.
Fathers are gone, absent.
Right.
Now, there's a lot of factors associated with that.
Right.
It's not entirely because they was all pieces of crap. Some of our women ran them off.
Right.
Some of these men decided to run off. And then some men were around, but it just wasn't in the household. Right. I happen to have one who just wasn't around very much. How do you think that shaped you as a man Like growing up, having to learn that without that frame of reference. And where do you think you got that from?
I think.
What does it mean to you to be a man now, today?
Okay, so I'm going to answer the first question. Then I'm going to answer that one as well. So I know I had some great influences, some great role models, some great people to look up to in my life throughout my whole life. And I can say this today. I'm still learning how to be a man today. And I'm still learning new things. And I'm still willing to learn how to be a better man today. So I want to be a better man than I was today, tomorrow. So with that being said, that shaped me because my mom, I got 4 brothers, 2 sisters. So I have 3 older brothers. So with that being said, I had 3 older brothers. And I would also, this is kind of how I got into music. I was, my brothers were doing music. So I was kind of just following behind them, which was something I loved as well. So with that being said, how that shaped me, I could say it made me want to be a better man in the future. It made me also want to, it made me want to be successful. Okay. Because it made me want to say, I don't want to be a statistic to say like, okay, I was raised in a single family home and I'm in jail on drugs, all this nonsense or whatever, nothing like that. And my mom used to always preach to me, like, yo, we don't fail. We don't fail. Don't even think about failure. Just do it. Just do it. So like I really learned a lot of my morals from my mother, bro, because my mother, she's been a single mother since she was 16, 17. So, and she had a very, very, very strong-willed grandfather that was in her life. She had some uncles that was in her life. So I think she learned. Let me ask you a question within answering that. I don't know if I'm going all over the place, but let me ask you a question. Do you think a woman can teach a man how to be a man?
I do not personally, no.
You don't think that?
No. I think a woman can raise a man, right? She can nurture him because women are naturally nurturers and they can be very loving and we need that as well. Yeah. But to be a man, no. I think we ultimately learn it on our own due to our circumstances. People like us because we don't have fathers. So there is a void that is left.
But let me ask you a question though. Let's say if your father was like really in your life, and let's say if your father was pushing you to do something that you didn't want to do, is that teaching you how to be a man?
It is not. So to be clear, I think you can have a very toxic and a destructive man in your life who does nothing for you and ultimately still leaves that void. But I think that we are made whole when we have both a mother and a father involved, or a male figure and a mother figure involved.
But is that speaking from a sense of morals?
No, I think morality, yes, you can get that from your mother, no problem. I think she can absolutely teach you everything you need to know about being a good person. But when it comes to being a man, and that's where it differs because it can be very subjective. So for me personally, I think what makes a man is accountability, the discipline, responsibility, hardworking, work ethic. And then I think what's in us innately is to be protectors and providers. And that's why I say women can't, that's one of the reasons why I say women can't necessarily teach us to be a man, especially if they don't have a point of reference too. So I think it all goes back to that as well. Yeah. You know what I mean? Like if I didn't see a mother and a father in the household, a father treat a woman right, well, I learned how I learned it. Yeah. And for me, it was my culture, it was music. Yeah. It was the environment that I lived in. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So my mother could say anything she wanted, but I saw how she interacted with men. Right. You know what I'm saying? The lack of respect on both sides. Yeah. So ultimately that fed my psyche. And that's how it manifested itself in my own relationships. Yeah. So that's how I see it. I think a man ultimately needs a man. Yeah. To see and walk that life, to see how he treats women, to what it means, that integrity and, all of those things, the characters that make up what I feel is a good man. And, here's an example. Have you ever met a woman, or if you haven't, a woman with kids, and she loves all these qualities about you. And she said, I love you because you're this and you're that and you're this. Now, personally, I've been in situations where I've had stepchildren. Yeah, me too. And try to instill that into the men and face resistance.
What you mean?
they didn't like it. They didn't like what they thought was harshness, even though I was doing it from a place of love. Now, in hindsight, I learned some lessons from that and my approach, how I came off. But for the most part, I was instilling in him what you said you liked about me, what you loved about me.
Right.
That work ethic, that discipline.
Yeah.
And so now I'm saying this is what it takes to have that discipline. And I have that experience having gone to the military and all those things. So, you know what I mean? But it came off as harsh to this person. And they didn't like it. And it was constant resistance. Don't do that. Don't talk to him like this. And it's like,
this is what you like
I just need you to get out of the way.
Yeah.
Because you're going to love him and you're going to always be his mother. And I would never come in between that. I think you should. Mothers love their sons. You ever heard the expression that women love their sons and raise their daughters?
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Yeah. So there's a lot of truth to it because a lot of men, it's anecdotal, but a lot of men had these discussions. We talk about these kind of things. And these are our experiences.
Yeah.
So back to what you were saying, you talked about that success and seeing your brothers, have that drive. But was that being a man, or was that just ultimately exploring again? What's innately you to want that desire, to want more and to have more? Yeah. So the real question is then, what does being a man look like to you? What is that?
That's a good question.
Yeah,
because I can go like this. What does being a man look like to me? I think, like you said, being a man looks like to me is, like you said, having accountability. That's a lot. Like showing up is a lot. Keeping your word, being respectful. Respect is everything. Like respect is like, a motto that I follow. Like I want to respect one's time. I want to respect one's emotions. I want to respect one's point of view. You know what I'm saying? So I think respect, I would have to get back to you with a great answer on that one, because I don't want to just go off the wall and say because I can honestly say I've never thought about that. I've always thought to say, how can I be the best me? It wasn't necessarily to put me in a box and say, how can I necessarily be the best man? It's like, how can I be the best me? So I would have to answer that question at a different time.
No, that's fair enough.
Yeah.
And I often think about these kind of questions, whether I come up with the answer or not, right? Or what I think is a suitable answer, because, people do put us in these boxes.
Yeah.
I've been told many times, a real man wouldn't do this. A real man wouldn't do that. I'm like, but you have a vagina. So how would you know?
Yeah.
So unless and then I'm talking to somebody, and a lot of times, who did not have a father in their life. So it's like, how would you know? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. On some TikTok.
How would they know?
Like you would know.
How would you know?
You're just talking.
Yeah.
So what you did was you watched the same television shows. And what you saw, the same movies, and what you saw, that was the man you should be. Right. The same way you thought, this is the woman I should be.
Right.
Just why so many women, a lot of women, whether it's Nene Leakes or it's anybody else who they admire, they like that toughness, that grittiness, that, you know what I'm saying, that very freeing, a very expressive type of woman. And they say, yeah, that's what I'm talking about. And they don't realize that that's what they ultimately end up modeling, right? And so we can do the same thing.
Yeah.
So when I was younger, I was enamored by the gang members. You know what I'm saying? That's what I was enamored by. That partly because it wasn't safe to walk the streets, right? This is the height of the Bloods and Crips era. I lived in an all blood neighborhood, and it wasn't safe to just walk the streets.
Neighborhood too, but it wasn't like, it was in my area. It wasn't like crazy like that.
Yeah, but it was crazy.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? This is when the dark side. You know what I'm saying? Like when McCree and Folsom, all that stuff was hot.
Yeah. Like
drive-bys consistently.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And instead of being so fearful that you're like, nah, I want to get away from this, I gravitated to it. So when old boy would pay us, or whoever would pay us to fight, fighting my friends, we do it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And that's just what it was. And so when there was a shooting, and I say this in the book, and when there was a shooting, I wish I had got hit.
Yeah. So you can have something to talk about?
Yeah, so I can have something to talk about. You know what I'm saying? On some Kodak Black stuff. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But ain't nothing cute about it. But it was at the time. Right. It was like, old girl got shot. Like, damn, why I ain't get shot?
Right.
Like, why would you want to get shot, bro? Yeah. Now that is lack of guidance right there. That's a confused child, man. And so many of us grow up like that. Luckily, I didn't continue down that path. But I know folks, again, people I knew who did go down that path. You know what I'm saying? Dropped out of high school. I remember one dude he tatted Pyru on his head, on his above his eyebrow.
Wow.
He really embraced it.
Yeah.
And he took it a whole nother step.
Yeah.
Now, admittedly, I was jealous of the tattoo, and I wanted it too. Weird as hell. But again, we grow up. So I'm saying that I didn't have good examples of what it was to be a man. So I'm still learning it to this day. So I don't expect everybody to be able to answer the question because I'm still answering it.
Yeah.
To be perfectly honest.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So every day is evolving, and I'm realizing things that I'm learning. I'm like, oh, you know what I'm saying? For me, I feel like, okay, a man would do this. Mm-hmm. A man would stand on his principles. Mm-hmm. And they don't change because it's uncomfortable. Yeah. This is what it is. Yeah. Because I feel I'm right. You know what I mean? And doing the right thing. Yeah. So again, and I can expand on that, but that's
the base of it.
Exactly.
Principles. That's
you know what I'm saying?
Base of it.
Yeah. Trying to do what's right.
Yeah. That's the base of being a man. So
yeah.
I guess I didn't have a bad answer.
You didn't. No. No, but like I said, we can always, it constantly evolves. Yeah. There's other areas that we could touch on, but you're right. At the end of the day, is doing what's right and wanting to do that and keep your word, being a man of your word, and taking care of your responsibilities. Yeah. You know what I mean? So that's what it is, and not making excuses. Right. And these are things I had to learn in the military because I ain't had that discipline.
I can respect that.
Yeah, man. So what is your relationship ultimately like with your family in general? I mean, I know do you have a big family? I know you have a lot of brothers and sisters,
but big family.
Okay.
Like I said, I just really started hanging out with my dad's side of the family.
Okay.
Because I didn't grow up with them, but I'm embracing that now.
Okay.
Because I can't necessarily say my mom kept me from them, but I don't know what happened. Honestly, just lost in translation. I don't even know. Right. My dad, the centerpiece was not that.
Right. To bring y'all together the way he should have. That's what you would do. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was with them last night for like 5 hours. Okay. Just sitting in the kitchen talking. Like, I had never done that. I never would have wanted to do that, honestly. Right. But as I'm growing older, as I'm growing, as I'm learning more, like, you have to learn who you are. You know what I'm saying? You got to learn who you are. And I'm still learning who I am today. So they are a vital piece of me. You know what I'm saying? They are some of the characteristics that they have, I have. And it's like my mom might not have, or my mom's side might not have, but it's just like, yo, this is who I am. This is why I am the way I am internally. You know what I'm saying? So it's just, it's a beautiful feeling. For family is everything to me, man. And it's like, that's really what drives me a lot. Really what drives me a lot is my family. And because I be around so many different types of people. I be around, what I always do, honestly, I keep myself around people who are always doing something. Right. Always doing something, because that's the only way we can learn from each other. Is we just keep doing shit. Just, you know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah. No, I'm with you. Yeah. I'm with you. I'm doing the same now. I'm taking up learning a new skill set and constantly learning something new, man. And so I'm getting into this videography, and I've surrounded myself and reached out, networking with directors and people who do everything from music videos to whole movies, man.
Whatever.
That I can call them on the phone and I can draw inspiration from them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to Derek Mullins, man, who did The Gift of Grace. He did a number of movies. Actually, I think he did 3 or 4. Nice. And he got into it, man, by going to a play that ultimately became a movie. I think it was called The Wake Up Call. And she initially... The writer, she initially already had a videographer, and he wanted to do it, but she told him no. He sat in the audience, bro, and he filmed it with an iPhone, chopped it up, did what he did, and he sent it to her.
That's gangster.
3 movies later.
Yeah.
So stuff like that is inspiring because it's like, there's no excuses. Yeah. Stop making excuses. Yeah. There is no excuses, bro, to reach out and do it. Speaking of that, the same play, new play, I did basically the same thing. And then now he wants me to shoot more for him. And it's just jumping out there and doing it, man. You know what I'm saying? So people think, they'll see you and they think that you already motion pictured. Like, that ain't necessarily the case. It's the grind. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? It's to get to that point. Yeah. Because I'm still new to this. I'm learning it. But even being new to it and learning it, I am unafraid. Yeah. I'm not afraid to just jump out there, man. Yeah. And do it. Yes, it's going to be a horrible video with Aloha. Thank you, Aloha. You made it great. You know what I'm saying? It's my videography work that was horrible. But her voice carried it. So I appreciate her letting me do it.
Exactly.
People like that. You know what I'm saying do it.
That's your very first one. You don't have that to look back on. You don't have that to look back on. You're going to be like, damn, that's real progression.
Yeah. So that's how I look at it. That's how I look at it.
Yeah.
Exactly how I look at it. So then you can really inspire the next generation or others who think that they need this or that or they can't do it. You're like, look, this is my first one.
You want to hear something, man?
What's that?
You know what my family told me last night?
What's that?
So they, you know, they hyped me up and all that and everything. Like my auntie, I walked in the house and my little cousins was there. I hadn't met these little cousins. I hadn't met these little cousins. So my auntie bring me in the door. She has my video playing on the TV. As I'm coming in the door, my auntie already hyping me up. And this auntie, I remember I have flashes of her as a child. Like she was the exact same. She's hyping you up, all that. But she told me, she was like, "Yo, you inspired him." And I was like, "Why you say that?" And she was like, "Because you know what I'm saying? You out in California doing your thing." And my auntie told me, my auntie said, "I never been nowhere." She said, "You inspired me." I said, "Wow." I didn't know the decisions that I made trickle down, you feel what I'm saying, to others. Yeah. Like, I mean, I knew that, but I didn't understand the power within that. Right. Just really chasing your dreams, just really doing something you want to do could inspire everybody around you. Yeah. So when she did that, that made me like that made me feel so good, bro. And that made me want to stay there because it was like, all right, how can I inspire them some more? Like, I'm finna just chill with y'all. Right. Like I'm not gonna be the bougie Hollywood nigga that you might have the stereotypical thoughts about. No, that's not me. Right. I'm gonna be here with y'all. We gonna eat the chicken. We gonna talk. Yeah. We gonna do all that tonight.
Let them know you real.
Yeah, because I am.
Right.
Like, yeah, bro. Like my whole life, I've always wanted to I always wanted to inspire, man.
Well, that's powerful. That's powerful. So you already know you're on the right track. You already know you're doing it. The fact that you're a dope artist and producer and all that. So, you know what I'm saying? You can't, you know what I'm saying? What is the difference between anybody else on a major label and yourself?
Nothing.
Exactly.
They just got the opportunity.
That's it. That's it. Right.
That's how I look at it.
That's what it is.
But I had to look at it like that because I've been out there 8 years, right? And I did all this shit out there, but it still wasn't enough for me. It still wasn't enough for me. And it's still not because it's my fucking drive. It's still not enough for me. But somebody taught me. I'm actually reading another book now. I'm not really a reader, but once I read your book, I was like, let me read something else.
Okay.
Like, so now I'm reading another book. Rick Ross, Perfect Day to Boss Up. He basically was saying like, you got to live in these moments. You have to understand these moments. You have to understand these moments to where you at now, where you came from, and then move on from that. And then once you get to the next level, look at that level you in, then look at where you was, then move on. That's the only way you can progress is if you know where you came from. You feel what I'm saying? Like if you, like, why you think NFL players watch film? Because they have to learn, like, okay, in order to beat this team, we have to learn them. We have to understand what it is they do, what it is, even everything. So that's the only way is you really just watch film on yourself. You just got to live in that moment, learn from that moment, and progress. Right. If you don't progress from where you was, but if you go backwards, and then and you don't, you're going to continue to go backwards because you're not learning from where you was. So that's what I want to do right now, man. I just want to learn from where I'm at and continue to be an inspiration to others, continue to be an inspiration to myself. That's where it first starts. Everything starts with you, and then it spreads everywhere else.
So what do you see for yourself moving forward in terms of your career, in terms of family, relationships? Let's focus on your career first.
Okay, so for my career, I already got it mapped out.
Okay.
So this summer, actually, I'm going to say April, I'm releasing my new album.
Okay.
In March, end of March, I want to do a listening party. I want to do a listening party in LA. Then in April, I'm going to release the project. And then once I release the project, I'm going to say end of April, I'm going to come back to St. Louis and do a listening party here. Because this new project is very, very centered in St. Louis sound. I talk about a lot of things that's in St. Louis in the album. It just feels like where I come from. Like I feel like I'm recentered. So for my career in general, I want to be the next Vega Heartbreak. I don't want to be nobody else. I want to be me. I want to have such a core following that I don't need a label. If the label come with the right check, let's do it, baby. But I want to build such a core following that my shit is so powerful that I can sell out arenas and I just really do whatever I want to do. I don't want to be boxed in to say, like, because people ask me all the time, like, yo, what do you love doing more, producing, songwriting, or artists? I be like, man, I just like doing music. It don't matter what I want to do more. I might want to wake up one day and make all beats and produce for people. Mm-hmm. Or one day I might just, who cares? Just let me do what I want to do, because that's when I'm best. I'm at my best when I can flourish. So for my career, I want to be the next Vega Heartbreak.
Okay. That's dope.
Yeah.
Okay. And what about family, relationships?
As far as...
Do you have room for that?
As far as relationships with others, or relationships with like a relationship with a woman?
Yeah, with a woman.
I see myself in a great relationship because I feel like I need somebody to build with.
Okay. You need it or you want it?
I feel like I need it.
Okay. Why? Expand on that.
Because I want it a lot.
Okay.
That's why.
Okay. Okay.
like I want a Porsche so bad that I need it.
I got you.
So when I get it, it's like, okay.
I got you.
All right.
I got you.
I don't know if that makes any sense.
No, I got you. I'm there. So yeah.
You want it so bad, you need it.
Yeah.
It becomes a need.
Right. So much so that I've purchased things and thought later, like, damn, why I do that? Why I do that? But I wanted it. I needed it.
You needed it.
Yeah, that's what I told myself.
Why
so that's
not?
what it is. That's what it is.
Why not?
Okay.
That's
all
real.
right.
So, of course, I see myself with something growing with someone, but you know, I'm gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna be completely honest with you. I've danced with the thought of polygamy.
Interesting.
I have.
How did that come about? Tell me about that.
I've had 4 failed relationships, and I thought back to look at the point of why these relationships failed. Why did I do the things that I've done? Now, all that goes back to, of course, maybe my upbringing, maybe the environment I grew up around, or maybe the things I subject myself to. But it makes me who I am. Now, of course, I need to be a better person and everything, but I feel like I'm more freer when I don't have to lie, when I don't have to hide anything, when we can just be completely honest about what we want to do or what we want. Like I love having that feeling. Like I like various of women. I do. And it's not even on like no hoish thing like that, but I love having connections with you know what I'm saying? I just like having connections.
Is that now? Let me and as answer how you answer.
Yeah, I am.
Is that a matter of? Is that a fear of having that connection with one?
It's not a fear. No,
it's not a fear at all.
No, I'm not afraid at all.
Okay,
because if I was afraid, I wouldn't be having this conversation.
Okay,
I'm not afraid at all.
Okay, so but
every girl I meet today, I tell them that. I'll be like, I don't know what your views is on all of this, but I don't see myself being like, sometimes I don't see myself being bound to one person.
Understood. Now, why do you think that is?
Because I don't want that. And I feel like in my life, I want to do everything I want to do. Okay. At the end of the day.
Okay. So you think that would make you happy? Or does that make you happy?
It does.
It does.
It does.
Okay.
It makes me happy. It makes me happy that I don't have to lie about anything. I don't have to hide anything. I don't have to sneak around.
Now, have you? Can you say that you've met a single person that has made you reconsider that, or is that just not even an option?
I can't necessarily say that's not an option because maybe I can't necessarily say that's not an option. I have met someone who is, that's my one.
Okay.
But I would hope they would understand who I am. And then if they don't, maybe that's not my one.
So to what end? On some, could you see yourself being in a relationship with 3-4 women in one house?
I can.
Okay. That's a lot of personalities to me. So I'm in no way judging you. For me, that's a lot of personalities.
But you know what? I wouldn't even want them in my house and all that and everything.
Okay, so that's what I was getting at. So did you see it on some brother X? Not brother X. Who's the guy? Is it not being X? Is it brother Polite?
Who's that?
Brother Polite. I don't know where he became famous from, but he's on social media. Yeah, he's a polygamist, and he had, I want to say 2 or 3 wives.
No.
Okay.
Nah.
So you don't see that. You just see yourself just being free to experience who you experience and have those connections with those you have connections with.
Cool. I love being free.
Okay.
I am such a free spirit.
Okay.
It's crazy, man.
Now let me ask you something. Now, is there a place where you can have that one and still feel like you're free, or no?
Like I said, I've looked back on all my relationships, and the one thing it was 2 things that were common. The first thing was they always told me that I'm always in my own world, and I could agree. I could definitely
agree.
No, for sure. So when I say that, I mean like being ambitious. I think the girls I was with, I was too ambitious for.
Okay.
Because I was just too ambitious for it. Like, they were corporate women, you know, desk jobs and all that stuff. So they didn't understand my way of thinking. And the other thing is I wasn't faithful to any of them. Mm-hmm. And it's like, why subject yourself to that? Honestly, I don't think we were programmed to be that way.
Okay.
I don't think we were made to be that way. Like, cause like when I do reading on like history and all that, they like marriage really just came about 150 years ago, something like that. Like to
I don't know.
I mean, from where you got to go to the courthouse and do all
sure. Yeah, that's
everything. It's just like.
Yeah, I think we've always called them wives or husbands. They had them, but yes, it doesn't. It didn't have the same structure. It didn't have the same structure.
Bound to one person.
Yeah,
you're like actually bound to them.
Okay.
Like,
so you consider yourself a rebel, huh? Do you consider yourself a rebel? Let me say that.
No, because I don't care who hears me or not. So it's not. It's not me being a rebel. It's just how I really feel.
Okay.
Like I'm not in my head like I want to go against the grain.
Okay.
No.
All right.
I just really feel free when I don't have to. You feel what I'm saying? When I don't have to.
So that's and again, I'm not judging you. I'm just curious. How does that conversation go though? Like with the women that you come across. I mean, because I believe you as honest as you're saying. So like, how do they react? Yes. How do they react?
A lot of them. Okay, so this conversation may come about. I don't know. Maybe the first conversation we have.
Okay.
And I'll put it out there. I'll be like, yo, I just want to tell you, I'm not really like into the whole title thing and all that. I'm kind of okay with being with myself and having connections with different people. And they'd be like, what do you mean by that? I'd be like, I've explored polygamy. And they'd be like, have you done it? I'd be like, I mean, maybe I have done it. Maybe I just didn't know I did it. Maybe me just fucking around. I guess that was the sense of polygamy, right?
Well, not if they didn't know about it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. So I told myself, I want to be honest and upfront with these women or whoever I encounter, and tell them the truth, how I really feel. So, like I said, I've been in a situation to where I didn't tell, or not necessarily didn't tell the truth, but I didn't be upfront about what I wanted out of the situation. Mm-hmm. And she came back like, "Oh, you led me on, had me," and I was just like, you know what? No more of that.
Yeah,
ain't no point.
I got you.
I'm too grown. I got too much going on.
Okay.
For somebody to be nagging me about something I wanted to do. So
yeah, no, fair enough. There it is.
No, that's how I feel, though.
Honestly. No, I hear you.
How is it being married?
So
not even like not even in your personal space, but the ideology of it.
You know what? It kind of going back to what you said. You made mention about questioning whether or not we were even meant for monogamous relationships. And I think a lot of people, I know I certainly have questioned that too. Like, because ultimately we see something we like, we're hunters, right? And we like to hunt. Mm-hmm. And so we like that. Mm-hmm. That we like that new feeling that it gives us too. That, again, that connection. And so, but I often think so too, like, because marriage is the only relationship that I could think of that truly brings out who you really are. Who you really are. Because you can date for years and years and there's always that representative because there's always something new.
Right.
And so you don't truly get to see, unless, because most people aren't as vulnerable until they've reached that level. Mm-hmm. You don't get to really see who I am. And so, you know what I mean? So everything that was underneath can stay underneath as long as I date. So in that marriage relationship, yes, you get to see that. And I feel like it can bring out the best in you. If you have the right person, right? And sometimes we marry the wrong people, hence the road to nowhere. And so that happens. Yeah. And then, but when you're in a good, loving relationship, then yes, you have those inner inhibitions, and you want to, those feelings and thoughts that you want to explore. But it takes a lot of self-control to be able to contain that too. And so that's a good thing. It can be a good thing at the same time. So, I was a womanizer, so for me, it's a good thing.
So you like the discipline aspect of it?
I do like the discipline of it because, you know what I mean? Because
you said in your book that you like structure.
I do. I do. But it was a point in my life where I used to say, too, it was just something to roll over into. Uh-huh. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like, just being there and having somebody there. Yeah. And so, I just found out, Murphy Lee and Keywan were my cousins years ago. Mm-hmm. And I often say, I used to rap too when I was younger, 16, 17 years old. I couldn't imagine if I knew then. And I was around with my brother, because my brother was with him. I have an older brother too, who lives in St. Louis. And he grew up with Nelly and them. And again, because I ain't had my father there, he didn't tell me this stuff. Right. He didn't introduce me to this side of the family. Right. And so my brother and them was with him. I wasn't, but I say that was a good thing, because that was a great thing. It really was. Because I can only imagine how many kids I have today on top of what I already have. Yeah. I can only imagine all the heartbreak and who knows. Yeah. You know what I'm saying?
But heartbreak only comes from when you're not being honest.
No, and that's why I'm not, although it's not necessarily for me, but I'm not judging where you are because you're being honest with them. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So that's my whole thing. And when you're going into a relationship, we should be honest with each other.
We should.
You know what you're getting. Right? Yeah. And so now you can make a decision. Yeah. So I didn't take your decision away. See, I've taken the decision away from a lot of women. Right. Because I ain't tell them, oh, by the way, I'm married. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, seriously. Like, so those are the kind of things that, you've eliminated. And so,
I give
so
them the
there you go.
To want to deal with me or not.
There you go.
It's like, this is what's on the table.
Absolutely. And I think being a man and being an adult and being responsible, that's what it's about. Yeah. You have to let them know where you are. Yeah. And then they make the decision. Well, you know what? I like him enough that I'm cool with where we are. Yeah. And if something becomes more of it, I'll let him know, and then he'll respond accordingly. Right. And then I got to make the decision. Right. When he tells me, no, I'm still rocking with the way I'm rocking. Mm-hmm. Cool. Well, then I think it's time we got to part ways. Mm-hmm. And that's what healthy people do.
Yeah, for sure. The whole goal for me was to enhance my communication. Okay. For real, like in all aspects. Yeah. If it hurts the feelings or not, like I'm just gonna be honest with you. I'm gonna communicate with you.
There you go. And a lot of us don't have that, man. Yeah. And that's what has been my goal, my mission with everything that I'm doing is to really start talking about mental health from that aspect, establishing the mental health, the communication skills to be able to say, this is where I am. Yeah. I ain't like the way you did this. Yeah. And then you respond accordingly. Yeah. Right? And then I can accept what you said, and I don't have to like it, but then I can go on about my business.
Right. I can figure out what I want to do with it.
Figure out what you want to do. Yeah. Stop trying to convince you to think the way that I do or vice versa. It's like, you know what I'm saying, respecting the fact that people have different views and point of views. I think people are
owed that.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
like if from person to person, we owe each other communication. Yeah. For real. Yeah. We owe each other communication.
If that breaks down, what we got?
Yeah, I mean, because if the communication breaks down, that's when feelings. Like people start their sentences off with like I feel like, and then once they start feeling like, okay, I had this conversation all the time, and I say a lot of the feelings people feel are really conjugated in your head, because I can step on your shoe, not even know it, and instantly you be like, oh, I feel like this nigga don't like me, or this nigga is disrespecting me. Now, if we actually communicate and you was like, hey, bro, you stepped on my shoe, and I be like, oh shit, my bad, bro. I apologize. My bad. Squashed. Nothing more else to say. Now, if you never tell me, you gonna feel a certain type of way. It's gonna build up. Next time you see me, you might smack the shit out of me, and I might know what was going on.
Right.
Yeah. So it's just, that's why I want to communicate.
Yeah. No, it's valid. We all should. No, that's good. If we can get more people to arrive at the same conclusion.
For real.
You know what I'm saying? The world would be a better place. Relationships would be better.
It would.
Overall, across the board, would be much better.
I don't want to leave nobody thinking no more, man.
Right.
I want you knowing.
Yeah.
Now, at that point.
Ain't nothing wrong with it, man. So what else is going on with you, man? What else did you got going on that you want to share that people can tune into? We know you got the album on the way. You want to share the title? You want to hold off? You want to wait on?
The album is called Poppy.
Poppy. Okay.
And it's Poppy means to me, people are people inside.
I like that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So the reason the album is dedicated to, like, it has such a St. Louis feel, because after my father died, I came back home for like a month, and I wasn't really fucking with the music at all, because I was just in a fucked up place. So, and then I had a bunch of talks with people and everything, and then after, I actually had a talk with you. Remember we was at lunch?
Yep.
Yeah.
I remember.
And then I think that day is where I really came up with the title.
Okay.
Because I thought to myself, I said, I thought back on everything my dad did, because I was so fucked up, because it was like, man, he went out a coward way. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you wasn't in my life. Now you go out like this. So I felt some type of grudge, but then I had to understand, like, no matter how influenced he was under what he was, he would call me every single day. I go to my aunt's house. My aunt would tell me, he'd be so high, but he'd be like, hey, I gotta call my son. Call my son on my phone right now so I can at least just tell him I love him. So when I heard that, I was like, I got the title. And it lets me know that no matter what somebody is, what they show on the outside, what they're going through, they're still a person on the inside. And you got to respect them as such, because you don't know what they're going through. You don't know how they got to the point they're at. So it's just, that's why I came up with people are people on the inside. So, name of the album is called Poppy. That's what I have control over right now. Everything else I've done, I don't have control over. It's something I produce for somebody else, some I songwrite for anybody else. So at this point, I don't really care what happens. You know what I'm saying? My focus right now is me, the things I want to do, the things I want to pursue. If everything else works out on the outside, that's fine, because it's going to help the inside. But with that being said, I'm focused on Poppy right now. Poppy is coming out in April, spring 2022. Everybody is going to be, city's going to be proud, man.
That's dope.
City's going to be proud.
Okay. Yeah, I'm definitely looking forward to that one.
No, for sure.
Definitely.
For sure. I think I want to get, I'm going to say this live right now on your show.
Okay.
I need
exclusive.
I need you to say a piece on the album, man.
Okay.
Just because when I listen to you talk, like, you remember you sent me something, you had me do something, put the music behind something.
Yeah.
And I was like, yo. And I had let my girl hear, and she was like, he really be knowing what he be talking about. And I told her, I was like, yeah, it's because, like, if you be around him, he really embodies everything he's really talking about. Like, that's who he really is. Yeah. So, I got to get you to say something, a skit or something. Like, you got to be involved on this project.
I'm with it.
Yeah.
Yes, definitely.
Yeah, for sure.
That would be an honor. Absolutely.
No, for sure.
Absolutely.
What do you have going on right now?
Man, what do I have going on right now? So, I'm working on the second book. Second book is Don't Even Think About Getting Married.
That's the second book?
That's the second book. Don't even think about getting married before you have addressed these key fundamental foundational issues that I think all men should have. And, financial literacy. Mm-hmm. We have to do away with this financial illiteracy that we have. We have to understand our finances, how to spend it, what it is. Yeah. How do, how do we make it work for us? Stop trading time for money. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Get back that LBD, that lifestyle by demand. Yeah. That's what it's about. Yeah. To be able to wake up and say, you know what, man, I'm about to go to California and mess with Vega real quick.
I respect that.
You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's really what we always, you don't even have to be rich in that regard, although that's not off the table. But you don't have to be that. You just have to have that, you know what I'm saying, that pot where I can do that. Yeah. And it's not a big deal. I don't have to come back and make life decisions at gas tanks. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like, that's a miserable life.
It is.
You know what I'm saying? How am I going to pay this? How am I going to pay that? Mm-hmm. That's horrible. Nobody, you don't want to experience that for the rest of your life. All right. So financial illiteracy, we need to do away with that. Spiritual well-being, knowing health. What do you believe in? Mm-hmm. It's kind of like what you said when I tell them from the beginning in communication who I am and what I stand for, so they know, right? So if you understand who you are and what you believe, right, and then I can guide the person who I'm with much better. Exactly. Right. I can be the leader. Exactly. Right, because you know what it is. Yeah. All right. You know what I mean? And so, and then obviously mental health. I cannot forget that. Yeah. Emotional intelligence. Yeah. Being able to communicate in a healthy way. This is what I believe. This is what I want, desire out of you. This is what I expect from you. Mm-hmm. Can you meet that? Mm-hmm. And I'm telling you up front. So now you can say, no, I can't meet that. That's irrational. Okay, well, now I respect your opinion. Mm-hmm. I disagree, but I respect your opinion. Yeah. And then now you can go on about your business. Yeah. And we didn't waste each other's time. Or what you find out is, I still like you. We can be good friends. But we can't be in a relationship. Exactly. Because this is what I demand. Yeah. Right? Cool. That's cool. Emotional intelligence. It is. Right? And so in a nutshell, so before you get married, if you think you're going to do it, and that's what you want to do for some reason, okay. If you don't have those things in check, what's the point? Why get into a relationship with a person that you got to struggle with? Mm-hmm. When you can eliminate some of the minor financial struggles that you would have. And you still can grow together, right? You can build bigger pots. Yeah. But don't do it if you ain't got a place to stay yourself. Right. Right? If you know that you depending on that next paycheck, or if you miss a paycheck, you hurt. Mm-hmm. Why would I get married? Exactly. Unless you're looking for her to support you financially, then that's a whole nother issue. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? So that's really what I'm saying to men specifically, is that if we have these things in line, you're in a better position to take a woman that you care about, and then you can build a life with her. You
know, it's crazy. Those principles don't even have to apply to marriage.
You're exactly right. Yeah, you're exactly right. I have absolutely thought about that.
You can apply it to everything.
You can. And so, but it's as simple as that people, somehow they avoid it or they don't know about it. And like I was telling a friend of mine, a lot of times we know when we getting involved with the wrong person. We make excuses for it, and we turn a blind eye to it. Mm-hmm. Right? I've been in a situation with a person that I know was the wrong person for me, but man, she had a fatty. A lot of men can relate to what I just said. I just need access to that. Yeah, and then that turned into a long-term relationship that I knew was not going to be productive. Yeah. Why did I do that? I mean, I know why, but it's like we have to stop doing that. We have to be in a position where we can really take the lead and say, look, this is who I am. Mm-hmm. This is what I believe. Mm-hmm. I don't have to make shortcuts to take you on board when there's somebody else that would be happily that meet the criteria. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? That I can fulfill. So that's the first thing. So I'm in the process of writing that. I plan to release that this year as well. The prototype for the tech table, I plan to kick that off this year, present that to the market. I have the documentary coming, which is Trauma Revealed, Hidden Wounds. Mm-hmm. I can't wait to release that.
I'm going to be a part of that too.
Vega, definitely a part of that.
We're going to get real deep.
Real deep in that. I wish he was here, man, because I'm taking a trip. Part of the documentary, we're taking a trip out to the property. I'm renting
when?
It sleeps 10. So I got to figure out the date. So, you know what I'm saying? If it works
around in a couple weeks.
Okay. Well, it's going to be a little later than that. So we shooting for sometime around it's going to be, I'm going to say, between the end of March and May, the second week of May. So I'm hoping it's going to be a time where you coming in when we can adjust the dates too.
Right.
But the plan is we going to get. I'm have an RV and it sleeps 10. We're going to do about 6 people, 6 of us though, and we're going to go out to the property. We taking guns. We taking.
Oh man,
you know what I'm saying? And we gonna really have these conversations.
Yeah.
But, you know what I'm saying, really get time to really just bond and then talk about what we got going on, how we can support one another from a brotherhood standpoint. And then just go out to the property, man. We're going to barbecue. We're going to shoot. We're just going to have fun, man.
Yeah.
We're going to do the podcast out there. We're going to shoot the documentary. It's going to be live. And that's what is also, without giving them all away, that's part of what the documentary, how it's going to end.
Yeah.
Talking about, this is what I foresee building this thing up. What Rebuildnus is really all about at the end of the day.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Having a sanctuary for us to call home, to go out to. And so that's what I love about the property out there, because there are no rules. It can be residential, it can be commercial, it can be livestock. So it's going to be a combination of cabins and barn dominiums and shooting ranges and everything else, ATV trails, to give us something else to go out to that's ours, that we can, you know what I'm saying, we can enjoy, you know what I'm saying? So because marriage is important to me, or relationships that you want to last. So that's going to be part of it. It's going to be offering counseling out there, barn dominiums. You can go out there. It's going to be retreats. You can go out there.
That's going to be fire.
You know what I'm saying? And you can just get away.
That's going to be
We
fire.
building a lake out there. You know what I'm saying? An 8 lake, acre lake out there. You can go out there and just enjoy the lake, man.
Yeah.
And you know what I'm saying? Walk the trails and hunt. It's white turkey, you know, white-tailed deer and turkey all over the place.
Yeah.
Year round.
That's
all
fire.
year round. You know what I'm saying?
All
year round. Hey, shout out to Vega. So you know what I'm saying? So it's going to have all that, man.
Yeah.
And that's what it's really about.
That's powerful.
And being able to come out there, and brothers come out there through schools and grabbing the youth and bringing them out there to see something different.
That's powerful.
And black mentors like yourself, and being able to say, come out there, man, and you know what I'm saying, put on a performance, have a concert hall, all that stuff, man. I foresee it all. So that's the plan. But coming up is the book and the patent, the product coming out, and the documentary.
Okay.
Documentary should be released this summer.
Okay.
On Amazon and film festivals.
Okay.
Yep. Yeah, man. So that's what I got.
I'm a part of all that. So
definitely part of all of it. Absolutely.
It's an honor.
Absolutely, man. And you already know, man, the Rebuildnus song, man. You know what I'm saying?
If y'all haven't heard
none
that,
other.
If y'all haven't heard that, y'all.
They sleeping, man. I play it everywhere.
I don't know.
Every chance I get, man, they're like, damn, dude, this one don't fit the video. I don't care. I don't even care, bro. That's my anthem, bro. That's my anthem,
Let's
man.
do it.
So you can expect to hear that again on the documentary, man. So I can't wait till that's out there the world on Amazon. I'm gonna promote the hell out of that.
Yeah.
Every chance I get.
I appreciate that, man.
Absolutely.
I appreciate you coming to me and making me a part of that situation.
Definitely, man.
That can be an inspiration. You know
That's what's so dope about him, man. You can't really typecast him, right? Like Vega can write for anybody. That's for sure. Flat out.
I can.
He's written for a lot of people, and he can write for you. You know what I'm saying? He can produce, and in terms of one of the illest artists. You know what I'm saying? And so it's like, you know what I'm saying? That's what's so dope about you.
I appreciate
you can't typecast him as just, you definitely ain't a mumble rapper. I mean, you a genuine artist, man.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I miss that, honestly.
For
because from, not to say that the newest artists are not delivering some hits, some bangers, but it just ain't the same to me.
Okay, so I think a lot of the songs that come out today, we're not gonna care about in 10 years.
I agree.
We still play Tupac, Biggie,
that's true.
Eminem, Nelly, Jay-Z. We still play them to this day. They old shit. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, that was true artistry. Like niggas don't tell stories no more. Niggas don't stick to the subject on the song.
That's true.
Like it just be all over the place.
It's all over
now.
the place.
Yeah, not to say, but that's the age we in.
It's a time and a place for it, right? Like I could see a point in time when you're gonna put on drama, left. You know what I'm saying? I could see that, but that's not something you probably gonna be riding to,
right?
On a Wednesday, you know what I'm saying? It's just probably not gonna happen.
No, it's not at all.
That come on, you be like, what is this? Dang, I ain't heard this in a minute.
Yeah,
but it wasn't deliberate. It was on accident. That was on accident.
It was.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? But yeah, man, so that's what's dope about your music, man. So I cannot wait to hear the new album.
Man, I can't wait for you to hear it, man.
Man, I know it's going to be special.
I can't wait for it.
Absolutely.
I've done a couple performances already.
Oh, have you?
And I performed some of the new music off of it, and it was...
Now, visuals, how you going, what are you doing with that, and what is your plan for that?
The song is called Defense.
Defense. I've heard the song, yeah.
It's called Defense, and... The video, we already got the video planned out and everything.
Okay.
We shooting the video when I get back to LA.
Okay. All
crazy.
Right. Dope.
But it's crazy, but it's the video is going to be shot from a point of view. So, okay, so you remember, how can I don't like comparing myself to nobody, but, okay, you remember when it all falls down?
Yeah.
Remember the video? It was kind of like him looking around and all that stuff?
Yeah.
That's how the video is going to be.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
It's point of view video, but it's going to be phenomenal.
Here's what I want you to do. I want to shoot the Rebuildnus video for you.
For sure.
I want to do that, but I want to mix it in with the trip. I want you to go on that trip, man, with us. And it's just a one day, just an overnight thing.
Okay.
But I want to be able to shoot the video along the way, and then we'll get some night footage, all that kind of stuff around the city, whatever. But it's going to really tie it into building them when we out on the property. Oh. So I want to make sure that some kind of building is going on, too, while we out there. That'd be kind of dope.
There's some people I want to put you with, too, man. If you're really interested in learning this videography.
Absolutely, man.
Shit, I know somebody who's very good at editing it.
Yeah. Yeah, man.
I'm great at editing.
Listen, bro.
And he's in St. Louis.
Please link me with him,
I got you.
I'm a student, man. I'm one of these guys, like, I don't care what I got going on. And I can be confident too, but it ain't no ego.
It ain't.
Like I'm one of those. I'm gonna ask you a million questions. You're gonna probably get sick of me. Mm-hmm. But I'd rather you do that than that guy who you ever work with somebody and they say they want to do it, but they don't ask no questions. They on their phone the whole time. You be like, man, I'm not wasting my time. Yeah. I'm not that guy. Yeah. If I tell you I want to do something and you can show me something, I'm on it.
That's good.
I'm on it, bro. I want to learn it. I want to be just as good as you. And it's not to compete with you. It's just I want to learn everything you can. I can from you.
It's because that's what you wanted.
Yeah. Yeah, man. And that's how I am. That's my personality. Mm-hmm. So with this guy who his name is Brody, man, through Brody Works, man, he made Aloha a promo video for a black coffee. And when I saw it, I'm like, I was sitting here doing some elemental PQ, you know what I'm saying? And when I saw his video, I'm like, wow. But that's cool. So I talked to him, man. I'm like, look, bro, you need to go for me. I carry the camera equipment. Mm-hmm. Look, I got a book out. I got all this stuff out. Who cares? Bro, you need me to carry the camera and stuff, man? So I can learn from you? Mm-hmm. And so now, man, I got him on speed dial, man.
That's what it takes.
And that's what it is. So, I go do shoots with him. I did a wrestling event where I was able to film and bring my camera out and film.
That's what it
takes. When they do commercials, whatever, like I'm on it. I want to learn it. I want to be good at it. Yeah. A lot of it is because so there's no mistake. It wasn't really so I can get into doing videos and stuff, but I always wanted to make my own movie. Mm-hmm. And so ultimately Road to Nowhere at some point would be a movie because it came to me in a vision. It's called Broken, and I want to film it in St. Louis, like a serious motion picture, putting money behind it, and that's my thought process. Yeah. But it's always like I always wanted to. I have visions of things. I'm a visual person, a creative person, and I always wanted to take these thoughts in visuals and put them into film or put them onto short little scripts or whatever. So that's why I jumped into it. So I don't have to rely on anybody else. I just wanted to
for sure. What you should
put my vision to work.
Yeah, what you should do.
That's what it's about.
That's real.
You know what I'm saying? So now I'm in it, man. I'm in it now for the long haul.
You knee deep in the shit, man.
I'm knee deep in it. So man, I appreciate you coming out and having a conversation with me, man.
Thank you for having me again.
Definitely, man.
I know we've talked about this for a minute, and I was like, I'm gonna be in town, man. Let's
do it. Man. No I hate that we go again. It's supposed to be in the documentary, and it will be. If I got to go to California and bring the equipment myself, I will film the interview. You know what I'm saying? But we're going to make sure that we get it in there.
Okay, 1,000%.
You know what I'm saying? And then, man, we're going to do it.
For sure, man. All love. Thank you for having me on the show. Man.
Definitely. No, I appreciate it, bro.
For sure, man.
Definitely.
You already know it, bro.
Yeah, man. Yeah, man. So that's a wrap, man. The one and only Vega Heartbreak.
Make sure y'all follow me at Vega Heartbreak on Instagram, Vega.Heartbreak on Instagram, Vega HBK on Twitter, Vega Heartbreak on Facebook, Vega Heartbreak on Google, which leads to going to YouTube.
There you go.
And yeah.
There you go.
All is love and love is all.
There it is, man. No, this is a big shout out. Thanks for coming out, man. And this is a wrap. This is the Rebuildnus podcast where we talk about all things real and raw. Appreciate you coming out.
1000%.
And that's it.
That's it.
Peace.